In this video, I want to illustrate two of my favorite ways for finishing stitches. So as you can see here, I've been working for a while on a long and short stitch, and I don't have much thread left. So I probably have, let's see, maybe 2.5 inches or 3 left on here. So what I want to do is, before it gets even shorter than that, so when I have about this much, or 2.5 or 3 inches left, I'll do one more stitch just so I can get to the back of my fabric. So I'll do that now, pull it through, and here I am on the back. So again, there's two methods that I like to use, and I'll illustrate both of them. The way I usually decide between the two is if I'm in kind of the middle of the hoop or somewhere where I have lots of space to maneuver. I'll do a method where I take the needle and I almost do a stitch on the back side. So I'm going to send my needle under 1 or 2 of the stitches that I've just done. So as you can see here, I think I've got it under just 1, and it really doesn't matter how many strands. Even if you take like a stitch and a half, it doesn't matter how many you go under. So I'll do that, take my needle through, and use the needle to just tie a basic knot. So I've sent my needle under the thread, and then I'm going to take it through the loop that formed and pull this tight. So that forms a really tight knot. I'm not going to pull it because I want to show you the other method, but you can choose to do this 1 or 2 times. I've never had a stitch come out that I did just 1 knot on, but if you want to be just extra safe, you could do 2. And once you're done, you can snip off the excess and just leave a little pom-pom there. I don't know, maybe it's like a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so that's the first method. I'm going to undo that so I can show you the second method that I like to do. Okay. Alright, so the second method, I wouldn't have sent it under that stitch. What I would do is cut it off right at the needle and set my needle down. Don't lose track of it though. And what I have is just a long tail, and again, I've just finished a stitch. Right now I'm working with 2 sets of 3 strands, and it doesn't really matter how many you're working with. The process will be the same for however many stitches you have. I actually have a little knot in there, so I'm going to pull that apart really quick so I can show you. Okay, so what I've done is separated my strands into 2 sets, and it really doesn't matter how many you have in each hand. It just matters that you have at least 1 in each hand. And what I'm going to do is just tie a quick knot. And I always do a double knot when I do this method. So 1, 2, and then I snip it. So when you're working in the middle of the hoop like I am right now, you can really do either method. But if you're working at the edge of a hoop, you are really only going to have enough room to do that second method that I showed you. You just won't have enough room to maneuver your needle through another stitch there. So again, those are the 2 methods that I like to use to finish stitches.